Hello! It's Friday. We're in the stay-in once again, and it is half term, so I am not tired, which is brilliant news. Yes, I'm absolutely buzzing tonight. More ways than one. So yes, here we go for another Friday night quiz. I need to calm myself down a little bit. So yes, it is half term, and we are going to do nothing by half measure tonight. All will become clear as we go through the evening. So I hope you've all had an absolutely brilliant week, whatever you have been up to, not that you can do much. So let's start with our usual introductions. Who are you and what are you drinking this evening? It's a great stay-in way to welcome you all, isn't it? Seeing lots of familiar faces coming in. I'll try to say hi to as many of you as I can as you're coming in through the door of the stay-in. So hello to anyone who I haven't said hello to yet. So I've seen that Tom and family are in, Malcolm's in, Matt, Lisa and Gordon are here. We've got Joe and Sally, Vicky's in. I am definitely not tired. No, it is brilliant. Noswagda to Mum and Dad back at home on Anglesey. Anyone else joining us from Wales this evening? Don't know if Colin's in the house or not. Evening, Bob. How are we all doing? Oh, and there we go. Francesca's in with a few players at the Palace this evening. Is that all of the ladies in waiting at the Palace, is it? To help you out. And we've got some Hobgoblin on the go, some Malbec. Oh, stay-in favourite, Macon Village. There you go. Katie's happy on the gin. Brilliant. Lots of drinks flowing this evening. Yes, and who can stop us, shall we say? We're in the stay-in. Our doors are open. So, half term, we're doing nothing by half, so all of our rounds relate to halves. So we're going to have a wordy round connected to halves. Noswagda, Colin. We're going to have a masterpieces round, although they are all unfinished masterpieces, so they're only half completed. After our interval, by popular demand, we are having a lyrics round. Get lots of requests for lyrics rounds. I will give you half a lyric and you have to complete it. And then round 4, we've got who's missing from the list. So I'll give you half of a list and you have to say what's missing from that list. So all to do with halves, seeing as it is half term. And don't I know it? It is absolutely brilliant to be here in the stay-in and have some energy left over. Where are we? Got lots of people coming in. Pebbles is drinking cider. Oh, there you go. I hope Pebbles doesn't drink too much, given the size of that dog. Oh, picture round. Pictures, here we go. Some of you have probably seen it on social media already this evening. But here is your picture round. 10 famous faces there. Can you name them? Of course, they've only got half a face each. Just to give you a helping hand. The 2 faces that are combined into one, they both have the same first name. For example, the first 2 there could both be Davids, for all I know. So, that is your picture round for this evening. Something slightly different. Half a face, can you recognise the famous face? So, how are we doing? I'm just going to leave that up for a second. Alright, there we go. So, I hope we are all in and settled into the stay-in. Just realised my camera is slipping. There we go. So, I'm looking at the time. Looks like we've got most of our regulars in this evening. So, I think I am ready to begin when everybody else is. Just calming myself down after that adrenaline rush. I never showed you what I was drinking today. Although those of you on social media will know. I got an unexpected delivery of Innis and Gunn yesterday. Yeah, they were you had to write and let them know why you deserve some free beer. And I said, because I run online quizzes and I got some beer. So there you go. One of the perks of running this. Occasionally get a bit of free beer. Well, there you go. So that's what I am drinking. Apparently, it's one of my catchphrases showing you what I'm drinking. So there we go. Right, lots of readies coming in. So there we go. All you need is a pen and paper as normal, Scuizzes, to write down your answers. Google is your friend, although, here comes another catchphrase, you are only cheating yourself if you decide to use that technological friend of yours. Good evening, Kai. I haven't said hello to you yet, have I? And Roger, have I said good evening to you? Can't remember. Anyway, let's go. Round 1, question 1. Oh, sorry, this round is all about words, and it's called the semi-demi-half round because all of the answers have either semi, demi, or half in them. Okay. Round 1, question 1. Composure. Here we go. Along with the slalom, what other snowboarding discipline was added to the Winter Olympics in 1998? Along with the slalom, what other snowboarding discipline was added to the Winter Olympics in 1998? I've forgotten to turn this off. Question number 2. Kim, here's one for you. I think you've requested a question like this before. Number 2. What name is given to the ballet movement comprising of a small bending of the knee? What name is given to the ballet movement comprising of a small bending of the knee? Question number 3. What name is given to a narrow-necked brewing vessel, typically with a capacity of a gallon? What name is given to a narrow-necked brewing vessel, typically with a capacity of a gallon? I've got a ballet question for you, Kim, but I've not done a home and away round yet. Question number 4. Which geometric shape comprises of one curved edge and a straight edge? Which geometric shape consists of one curved edge and a straight edge? You'd better get this one right, Tom. Question 5. Which rugby player holds the record for the most points scored in a British and Irish Lions Test series? Which rugby player holds the record for the most points scored in a British and Irish Lions Test series? Footsteps above me somewhere. Somebody's trying to sneak downstairs. Question number 6. What is the smallest musical interval commonly used in Western music? What is the smallest musical interval commonly used in Western music? Question 7. In mythology, what name is given to a minor deity who is the offspring of a god and a human? In mythology, what name is given to a minor deity who is the offspring of a god and a human? Colin, repeat number 6. Yes, Colin. What is the smallest musical interval commonly used in Western music? The smallest musical interval commonly used in Western music. Okay then, let's move on to question number 8. In physics, which term is used to describe how quickly unstable atoms undergo atomic decay? In physics, which term is used to describe how quickly unstable atoms undergo atomic decay? That's a pleasure, Colin. Okay, question number 9. Amy and the Dream Team like their Harry Potter questions. Here's another one snuck in. In the Harry Potter book and film, which nickname does Professor Snape give himself on account of being the offspring of Eileen Prince and a Muggle? In the Harry Potter book and film, which nickname does Professor Snape call himself on account of being the offspring of Eileen Prince and a Muggle? There we go, we've got a repeat coming in on Slade Park Sinners. Number 8, of course. In physics, which term is used to describe how quickly unstable atoms undergo atomic decay? That's gone down quickly. And question number 10. Which actress starred in A Few Good Men, Indecent Proposal, and G.I. Jane? Which actress starred in A Few Good Men, Indecent Proposal, and G.I. Jane? And there ends the first round. Very nice this Guinness has gone, but the bottles are a little bit smaller than my usual. That's my excuse for going through it quickly. So I hope we're all doing well so far. Thank you. At this point, I would say thank you to my test teams who have helped out. They test the quiz, as in the name, test teams. Just give me any hints on how everything is doing. They normally get a quiz which is slightly longer and has some real stinkers of questions in, which get edited out. Or sometimes it's far too easy and they get 15 out of 15 on a round. So thank you very much to all of them for their advice every single week. We're also on standby, as you know, in case I make a mistake. Hopefully no mistakes this week. So, round number 2 is masterpieces, but unfinished masterpieces. So in the world of art, literature, music, many masterpieces have been left half finished over the centuries. So these questions are all about them. In the words of one of my test teams, it's an old person round. You'll have to let me know how you get on, those of who class themselves as young. Here we go. Round 2, unfinished masterpieces. Question 1 for you. Which biblical structure was never completed due to God ensuring that the builders could not understand each other speak? Which biblical structure was never completed due to God ensuring that the builders could not understand each other speak? Question number 2. J.R.R. Tolkien's unfinished collection of mythical tales from Middle-earth was eventually edited and published by his son Christopher. What was the name of that book? So J.R.R. Tolkien's unfinished collection of mythical tales from Middle-earth was eventually edited and published by his son Christopher. What was the name of the book? For all you Tolkien fans out there, I know that there have been several books that have followed this, but we are talking about the original book that his son published only a few years after his death. I wasn't going to mention the rugby, Colin. But yes, sorry, Jane. A smirk on my face there. Great game, wasn't it, Colin? Question number 3. Geoffrey Chaucer's unfinished masterpiece was the Tales of Where? So Geoffrey Chaucer's unfinished masterpiece was the Tales of Where? Question 4. Timon of Athens was supposedly completed by Thomas Middleton following the death of who? So, Timon of Athens was supposedly completed by Thomas Middleton following the death of who? Mum's probably going to tell me I've pronounced that incorrectly. We did have a discussion about this in the test teams. Question number 5. Which unfinished cathedral, designed by Antoni Gaudi, is scheduled to be finally completed in 2026? Which unfinished cathedral, designed by Antoni Gaudi, is scheduled to be finished in 2026? Question 6. Requiem in D minor was an unfinished requiem mass composed by which classical composer? Requiem in D minor was an unfinished requiem mass composed by which classical composer? Question 7. Which country singer recorded over 60 vocal tracks prior to his death, so his final work could be released posthumously in the American series of albums? Which country singer recorded over 60 vocal tracks prior to his death, so his final work could be released posthumously in the American series? What a great collection of albums it is. Okay, question number 8. A film question for you now. The unfinished martial arts film Game of Death was written by, directed by, and starred which actor prior to his death? The unfinished martial arts film Game of Death was written by, directed by, and starred which actor prior to his death? Question 9. Whose sculpture of David is generally considered to be an unfinished masterpiece? Whose sculpture of David is generally considered to be an unfinished masterpiece? running up the stairs now. And question 10 in this round, the final question of this part of the quiz. Considered by many to be the best album never released, which band was due to release Smile as a follow-up to their album Pet Sounds? Considered by many to be the best album never released, which band was due to release Smile as a follow-up to their album Pet Sounds? So there we go. That is your first 2 rounds of questions, and I'm still miraculously feeling wide awake, which is brilliant. We should have half term more often. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the quiz so far. Time for another catchphrase, because even if you don't get many questions right, you can be the winner if you are the one who has had the most fun. That's what the Stay In is all about. It's not about winning, it's just about having a bit of downtime on a Friday evening and having some fun with family, friends, virtual people like me on a screen. So I hope you're enjoying the quiz so far this evening. Those of you who are regulars will know now that, of course, we have an interval where you can come and get your next drink from the bar at the Stay In. You may also want to get your crisps, your nuts, pork scratchings, anything else you might like. And of course, the facilities are open should you need to use them. During this interval, I'll put those half-head pictures back up for you, so you can ponder over them as well. I've just seen that Mum would like something repeating. The last question, here we go, the last question. Considered by many to be the best album never released, which band was due to release Smile as a follow-up to their album Pet Sounds? There you go. I was just in the middle of all my spiel then, wasn't there? Oh, I'm sure that some of you do some kind of drinking bingo with all my catchphrases that I say. And if you do, good on you, because I know that I say a lot of things week in, week out, and you're probably laughing at me as I say them. So yes, cheers. I'll be back in just over 5 minutes or so, because there's probably a big queue at the bar this evening. Well, we'll do the answers to those first 2 rounds, and then rounds 3 and 4. In the meantime, here are your pictures, and I shall speak to you soon, Scuizzes. Bye. Hello, hello, hello! So I've made my way back from the bar here at the Stay Inn and got myself a well-needed refill there. So yes, let's take away those half faces there who are staring me. Yeah, they're just staring at me. Some of them look a bit strange, don't they? Yes, so yeah, hope you're having fun so far. Yeah, really interesting catching up with the messages that I've been getting. Some of you, like say part sinners, are going, "Oh no!" There's others who loving it this week. It just all depends what you know, doesn't it? So yeah, so what is good for one team is not good for another, it seems. So maybe it was too much of an old person's round. So there you go. Right. So we'll go through the answers to the first two rounds in a moment, but I've just seen messages come through, which I'm going to respond to right now. So Graham and Alison, my dear parents-in-law, have been doing the Scuizzes right from the start there. So Graham just sent in a message there that they've made a donation. They've been making donations to different charities, kind of in lieu of these Scuizzes that have been going on. And I got a message earlier this evening saying that would I like to choose a charity for them to make a donation to. So yes, thank you very much, Graham and Alison, for making a donation. I did say Mountain Rescue because it's a charity which is quite dear to my heart. Being I've never used it, but I know quite a few people who have used it. So yeah, it's an emergency service which doesn't get as much press as it should. Although it's had some press this week for very tragic reasons. So yes, thank you for putting a donation towards Mountain Rescue. It is something that is quite dear to me and has helped out family and friends. So yes, thank you, Graham and Alison. Yeah, I never ask for money for these Scuizzes because it is just for fun, but yeah, it is really touching that you have done that, so thank you very much. I'm getting emotional for lots of reasons tonight. Yes, but let's do some answers, shall we, to the first two rounds before we move on to rounds 3 and 4. So there we go. Yes, I know little brother has used it. Yes, I wasn't going to mention him, but yes, he has definitely used it. Right, round 1, question 1. So the snowboarding discipline that was added to the Winter Olympics was the half pipe. So it was our semi-demi half round. Question 2. The ballet movement was a demi-plie. Question 3. The narrow-necked brewing vessel was a demi-john. Question 4. The geometric shape with a curved edge and a flat edge was semicircle. Question 5. The rugby player who holds the record for the most points scored in a British Lions test series was Lee Halfpenny. Question 6. The smallest musical interval is a semitone. 7. In mythology, the offspring of a god and a human is a demigod. 8. In physics, the term to describe how quickly unstable atoms undergo atomic delay is half-life. 9. The nickname Snape gives himself in Harry Potter is Half-Blood Prince. And the actress who starred in those films was Demi Moore. And then round 2, the unfinished masterpieces round, or the old people's round, as it was described by a test team. It has been toned down since then. Question 1, the biblical structure that was never completed was the Tower of Babel. J.R.R. Tolkien's collection of mythical tales about Middle-earth was the Silmarillion. 3. Geoffrey Chaucer wrote the Canterbury Tales, of course. 4. Timon of Athens. It was finished after the death of Shakespeare, supposedly. 5. The unfinished cathedral designed by Antoni Gaudi is the Sagrada Familia. 6. Requiem in D minor. It was an unfinished requiem by Mozart. 7. The country singer who recorded over 60 vocal tracks prior to his death was Johnny Cash. 8. The film Game of Death that was written by, directed by, and starred Bruce Lee prior to his death. Question 9, it was Michelangelo's statue of David. And question 10, the band who was due to release Smile was the Beach Boys. It was later recorded by Brian Wilson as a solo project, using a few bits and bobs, but was never released in its full capacity. So there you go for those first 2 rounds there, Scuizzes. How are we doing this evening? I'm expecting low scores to come in from some of you, and really high scores from the rest of you. So yeah, it's always interesting to see these scores roll in. And then we have got, by popular demand, the lyrics round, which I had great fun of composing, should I say, and trying out with test teams and practicing not singing along. We go, the man are on 19. Well, there we go. Great score coming in. Here we go, another 19. Oh, Lot's at an 18. Danny's on a 13, but Danny obviously has the most fun every week. She keeps telling us. Graham's young because he's got a 14. There you go. I think keep up with a lot of these messages. There you go. Alright. Round 2 is not your round. There you go. God, 19's coming in, 17's coming in. Lots of great scores. Yeah, after the chat going down last week, I know it on different devices, so it's all up on there for me. So I can see it. I normally have something else on there, but it's up there and all coming in nicely this week. Oh, yeah, well done. Right, it's got 15s, 14s, 17s. Brilliant scores, I think. You're over half marks, and that is always kind of what I say I would aim for. And then, of course, some of you will come in and go, I haven't got a half marks, I feel really bad. But it's whoever has the most fun, isn't it? There you go. If you're playing bingo, that's another drink. Somebody is watching me through the grill on the stairs there. Off you go up to bed, please. There we go. Right, round number 3 is the lyrics round. Anyone who's been in the house will know what I mean by the grill in the stairs. Lyrics round. So I'm going to give you the start of what I thought was a famous lyric, and I'd just like you to complete the lyric for me. So write the next few words down. We'll be quite relaxed about this. If you only write a few words instead of lines and lines, that's fine. If you want to write the whole rest of the song, go for it. We're all friends here at the Stay In. But yes, I'll give you half a lyric. Can you complete these famous lyrics for me, please, Scuizzes? Round 2 was unfinished, was it, Graham? Oh, there you go. Got a question 11? I've got the spare ones. You won't like them, though. So round 3, question 1. Complete this lyric for me. I see a little silhouette of a man. I see a little silhouette of a man. Complete it for me. How many of you are now singing? Question number 2. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? Lyric number 3 for you now. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Question 4 for you in this lyrics round. I picked you out, I shook up, and I turned you around. I picked you out, I shook up, and turned you around. Tried to span the decades with these songs. So there's a few more recent ones coming up quite soon. Okay, lyric number 5 for you. If you want my future, forget my past. If you want my future, forget my past. Number 4 again. Yep, I picked you out, I shook up, and turned you around, Katie. Katie is not part of the lyrics there. I picked you out, I shook up, and turned you around. Okay, lyric number 6. Much more modern one for you youngsters who didn't like the unfinished business round. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing all my life. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing all my life. Quickly go and wake your kids up and check with them. Question 7. Here's one I put in here for Ollie. I haven't seen his name on the chat. He's probably joining in a day later. Here you go, Ollie. I hope you get this one right. So question 7. Thursday, I don't care about you. Thursday, I don't care about you. Question number 8 for you this evening on the lyrics round. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing. Question 9 is put in at the request of India and Kian for you. So question 9 is, there's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. Six. Yes, of course, Jane. Number 6. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing all my life. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing all my life. I don't suppose you've got any young children to go and ask about that. If you did, then they would be singing it. And finally, question number 10 for you this evening. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why. Taken from 2 very famous songs that were released about the same time. I know lyrics can divide opinions, which is why I tend to stay away from them, but I've had so many requests for a lyrics round, and also I thought it would counterbalance that unfinished business round. Although I'm probably going to find out that some of you didn't like the masterpieces or the lyrics. Yeah, I tried to get a nice spread of rounds in there for you. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed that. Those of you who have continuously requested a lyrics round. So we've got 1 round left. Round 4 is Who's Missing? Yeah. I'll start that in just a moment. We've got some hiccups. This will be fun. Oh, Katie wants 9, please. Number 9. I've got to go back in my quiz book. I've been handwriting all my quizzes recently, and it's so therapeutic, actually. So number 9, there's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. There you go, Danny loved it. Yes, there you go, Danny. Glad you enjoyed it. Yes, so round 4 is a Who's Missing round. I'm going to give you a list of 3 items, and something is missing from that list. So I'd like you to tell me what is missing. I know some of you are going to get clever and say it's not half, it's 3/4. But there you go. We don't have a 3/4 term. So yes, I'm going to give you 3 things. All you need to do is tell me what is the 4th thing that is missing. For example, if I said question 1, Paul, Ringo, George, you would have to write down John because he's the missing Beatle. There you go. Yes, Danny, I have visions of people singing across the land as they watch this quiz this evening. There you go. That's what I want to happen. Who else is singing? Yeah, let me know if you've been singing. It does, grate me a little bit. Suddenly the chat goes quiet during questions. But there you go. That's what happens with a good meal, doesn't it? Everyone stops talking at a good meal, so everyone stops doing live chat during a good squiz, hopefully. Stop moidering that. So round 4 is your Who's Missing. I will give you 3 things, and what is the 4th thing that is missing from my list? So question 1. Mark, Matthew, John. Who's missing? Mark, Matthew, John. You may be singing different songs, Graham, but you may be having the most fun and therefore may be the winner. Your singing was terrible, was it, Katie? Well, I'm sure mine was too. But I just didn't sing in front of the camera. I haven't had enough whiskey like the other week. There you go. Question 2 for you. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, The Last Crusade. What's the fourth? Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, The Last Crusade. This innocent gun slips down very, very nicely. Unfortunately, I've got through all 4 bottles. I am celebrating. Some of you know what I'm celebrating. Question number 3. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and question number 4. Mallorca, Minorca, Ibiza, and what? Mallorca, Minorca, Ibiza, and what? Question 5. Meg, Beth, Joe, and who? Meg, Beth, Joe, and who? It's more requests for me singing. You know, on our St. Piran's Day quiz in two weeks tonight, isn't it? I will sing Trelawney at the end of the night. There you go. I'll give you a quick rendition of Trelawney in 2 weeks. I'll get practicing for 2 weeks, shall I? Question number 6. Australian, French, US. What's next? Australian, French, US. What's missing from the list? Question number 7. Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt. Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt. Who's missing from that list? Question 8. King's Cross, Marylebone, Fenchurch Street. King's Cross, Marylebone, and Fenchurch Street. we've just got 2 questions left of this round and of the quiz, if you don't include our tiebreaker at the end. So question 9 in this round. War, famine, death, and what's the 4th? War, famine, death, and... And finally, question 10 this evening. Oh, we had good discussions about this one with the test teams. Solid, liquid, gas, and what? Solid, liquid, gas, and what? I'm sticking to my guns on this one, test teams. There is a 4th. There are many, many others, but there is a 4th proper observable one. Solid, liquid, gas, and what? So there we go. That brings us to an end of round 3, the lyrics round, and round 4, the who's missing round. So that is all your questions for this evening, which means that all we have got left to do is go through the answers to rounds 3 and 4 and those pictures. So we'll have a brief interval. If you just need to top up any drinks, use the facilities, all of that malarkey, a few bingo calls out there, if anyone is playing such a game. Maybe I'm just fantasising about that. Oh, can I repeat question 8, please? Yes, I can. So it's King's Cross, Marylebone, Fenchurch Street. There you go, Dream Team. What's missing from that list? And because I kind of mentioned it briefly, saying I'd sing Trelawney, just to remind you of what is coming up for Scuizzes. So next week is just a good old pub quiz, no themes, no bells and whistles, just 4 standard rounds and a picture round. That's what we're doing. And then 2 weeks time, the 5th of March, it is St. Piran's Day, where we celebrate the patron saint of Cornwall. So we'll celebrate all things Cornish during the quiz that week. Yes, and I will sing Trelawney then, because I'm sure I'll have had some good Cornish ale by that point. So that's what's coming up in the Scuizzes next few weeks. Let's take a brief interval for 2 to 3 minutes. You can finalise your answers. Don't talk yourself out of anything if you had a gut reaction to it. Your gut is often right. So here are your pictures. And I shall speak to you again in a few minutes, starting with the answers to those pictures. Scuizzes, I just absolutely love the bonkersness of this. We've gone from talking about a lyrics round to talking about piri piri chicken Pringles. That is just exactly what would happen in a real pub. So I think I have achieved what I set out to in creating a virtual pub. Keep the chat going there. I have not tried piri piri chicken Pringles, but it has almost made my night, Colin, that you have started the conversation about Pringles in the chat there. You have been trumped by something else, I'm afraid, but there you go. Yes, so lots of you found it hard this week, unfortunately, but who was it? It was Chris Tarrant who always said it's only easy if you know the answers, wasn't it? So let's go through some answers, put you out of your misery. Let's start with these 10 famous faces and see if you recognised any of them. There's a little hint in it that the two faces that combine have the same first name. So who were they? I keep looking at the first pair and thinking it's Tony Blair. It's not Tony Blair at all. Here are your answers. They're going to separate just now for you. I want KFC crisps now. Goodness me. Any other chicken chains that have come out with crisps, let me know. Here are your answers to the picture round. There you go. So we had the first ones was Martin Clunes and Martin Lewis. The second pictures were Princess Diana and Diana Ross. The third one across was Boris Yeltsin and Boris Johnson. Fourth one there was Jessica Hines and Jessica Ennis-Hill. And the fifth one across was Richard Osman and Richard Armitage. So there you go. A few went to the test team, said, who's Richard Armitage? It's Lucas North from Spooks, as well as the guy who married Geraldine and Vicar of Dibley. Along with various other things he's been in. He's been in loads of things, hasn't he? There you go. Those are your answers. Martin Clunes, Martin Lewis, Princess Diana, Diana Ross, Boris Yeltsin, Boris Johnson, Jessica Hines and Jessica Ennis-Hill, Richard Osman and Richard Armitage. There you go. Right, what are we going on here? Still talking about Chris, are we? There you go. Yes, brilliant, Scuizzes. Absolutely brilliant. We're in a real quiz there. Seaweed snacks. Now, I have had seaweed snacks plenty of times. I love seaweed. Well, there you go. You get 1 point for each of the people, Colin. So you get 10 points. You don't get half a point for just a Richard, though. 10 points on offer in that picture around there. Will you accept Stevenson? For who? Who might... You've confused me there, Claire. Explain more in the chat. Right. Oh, for Diana. Yeah, we'll go for that. Shouts. Right. So round 3. Totally confused. My mind's on crisps. There you go. Round 3 was the lyrics, and I wanted to know what was the next lyrics. I am not singing them. So there you go. So, number 1. I see a little silhouette of a man. Oh, for Jessica. Why am I getting told Diana? I don't know. If that was her Christian name, then yes, you can have it, Claire. Her maiden name. Test teams, get a check for me. There you go. So I see a little silhouette of a man. Your answer was Scaramouche, Scaramouche. Will you do the fandango? From Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody there, of course. Question 2. And I said, what about Breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think I remember the film. Deep Blue Something's Breakfast at Tiffany. Question 3. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Well, that's from Imagine, of course. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting messages through. Yes, you can have Stevenson. There you go. Maiden names. There you go. Question 4. I picked you out. I shook up and turned you around. Turned you into someone new. From Human League's Don't You Want Me Baby, which I was caught dancing to when I was about 6 years old, if I recall. Question 5. If you want my future, forget my past. If you want to get with me, better make it fast. Spice Girls wanna be there. Question 6. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing all my life. But you just beg to see me dance just one more time. Yeah, but you just beg to see me dance just one more time. Tones and I, Dance Monkey. Most irritating song ever, I believe. Question 7 here. I hope Ollie's got it whenever he watches. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Who is in love this Friday? I couldn't have been more better placed putting that song in, could I? There you go. It's Friday, I'm in love. Question 8. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing. Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Coldplay's, what is it? Vida La Vida, there you go. And the one before, apparently I didn't tell you, it's The Cure, Friday I'm in Love. Question 9. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be. George Ezra there with Shotgun. And then question 10. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why. Got out of bed at all. That's Dido, thank you. That's featured in Eminem's Stan. So there you go. Yes, I know some of you have absolutely loved that round. I do love a good lyrics round myself when they come up in quizzes that I do. And then we moved on to the Who's Missing round, round 4. So question 1, you had Mark, Matthew, John, Luke, the 4 Gospels of the Bible. Question 2, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It was an educational round, was it, that last one, Colin? I thought you'd be good on lyrics, Colin. There you go, you surprised me. It all depends what you know, doesn't it? Catatonia lyrics you'd get, wouldn't you? Question 3, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and then Raphael was the 4th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Question 4, Mallorca, Minorca, Ibiza, and Formentera is the 4th of the Balearic Islands. 5, Meg, Beth, Joe, Amy are the characters in Little Women. 6, Australian, French, US, and the tennis major that I was missing was Wimbledon. Question 7, Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Jefferson. They are the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore. 8, King's Cross, Marylebone, Fenchurch Street, and Liverpool Street. They are the stations on a Monopoly board. Question 9. War, famine, death, and pestilence. They are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And question 10. Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. They are the 4 observable states of matter. There are others, of course. No, believe it or not, Simon, Trump has not had his face carved into a piece of rock just yet. Although I'm sure he will do at some point, given his ego. There you go. You're right, Colin. Stan is an absolutely incredible song. The more you listen to it, it's just yeah, it's emotional. You've hit the word, hit it right on the nail there. Brilliant song. Not my normal cup of tea, but yeah, that song we were talking about the best songs of the noughties when I was revising this round, and that was in the top 10 just about any list. So there you go. Anyway, no, vapour is not an observable state of matter. The vapour is a type of gas, Colin. Yeah, so how have you done on those rounds? I'm just blathering away this evening because I'm not tired after a week at school, am I? So there you go. We've got the mana on a 44. How are you doing on these is what I want to know. Who's still singing? There you go. And Danny's beaten the Morgans! Yes! But only because the Morgans aren't joining in this evening. There you go. We've got 40s, we've got 45s, 46 for Jane M. That's more than Scotland scored last week, wasn't it, Jane? There you go. Mum and Dad got their worst round ever. 96. Even lower in the last round was that. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we got 30. Oh, we're mid 30s, 40s, 42. There you go. Some great scores, some not so. Nobody's done really badly, so there you go. I think the lowest score I've seen so far is a 31. So, yeah, we're going well. Some weeks we've had 15s, 16s, 20s, haven't we? So there you go. But let's have a tiebreaker. So one of the questions was Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? How long in seconds is Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody? That is your tiebreaker for this evening. How long in seconds is Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody? So Tom and Co, I've got 39, but they have won the drinking. That sounds like a very pub-like thing to do. So well done, Tom and family, for doing that. There you go. Scotland beat Wales tonight. There you go. So we've established, Colin and Jane, Wales are better at rugby than Scotland, but Scotland are better at quizzes than Wales. I think that is a compromise I am willing to take. There you go. So I'm just moidering as you're having a go at that tiebreaker. How long in seconds is Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody? Oh, we've got some answers coming in. So we've got 343, 420, 336. We've got lots in the 400s, quite a few in the mid 300s as well there. So we've got 7 minutes 30 seconds. Only tonight, Colin. There you go. Yeah, so lots of good answers there. So the song Bohemian Rhapsody, it was 5 minutes and 55 seconds long, which makes it 355 seconds long if you're playing along and want to do a tiebreaker. So we've seen quite a few very close answers to that. You've given me so many tiebreakers this evening, it is shut off my screen and I can't see who was the closest. But there were lots in the 300s. Did I see a 340 coming in? 343. Colin. It's only 12 seconds out. That is the closest that I have seen coming through. You've beaten Graham by 1 second there. So well done if you were having a go at that question. So yes, thank you so much for joining in this evening. If you want to join in every week, I have to say, because a few of you have been asking, just email me on stclearquizzes@gmail.com and you'll get the link every week, which I know a lot of you do anyway. But then you'll get the link and not have to worry about finding it. So there you go. And all the information is obviously on facebook.com/Scuizzes. So that's the best place to catch up with everything that's going on Scuizzes wise. Not that there's that much going on really, we just do a quiz on a Friday evening really. But yes, thank you so much for joining me. Another huge thank you for Graham and Alison for donating to Mountain Rescue in lieu of these quizzes. So thank you so much for that. It is really touching that you have done that. I never asked for, well, I did ask for once. For donations for children in need. But I don't often ask for money. We just do it for a bit of fun on a Friday evening. So thank you so much for that donation in lieu of these quizzes. I will be back next week for just a good old pub quiz. Like I said, no themes, no clever rounds or anything, just 4 rounds of 10 questions on classic subjects. Yeah, I'll see you next week, and then the week after that is the St. Piran's quiz, where I will sing Trelawney for you. But have a safe and restful week, Scuizzes, and I'll see you next Friday, the 26th of February at 8 PM for a good old pub quiz. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.